What is going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome to the first video of the draft viability. This is all opinion based. It's 110% my opinion. If you do not agree, that's fine. I'm not going to call you an idiot. I expect the same. All of these mods that I will be covering, I have used in draft format at one point or another. Hopefully, if not, then I'm kind of going to have to go off what I've seen use. But I've used a lot of Pokemon in draft format. I've been in like 6 seasons. Oh well, doesn't really matter. However, I will be going over why I think Pokemon are more or less viable. I will be grading them on a normal American letter grade scale, A, B, C, D, or F. F is never draft this thing, ever, in your entire life. B is, it would be pretty good. A is fantastic. If you want to go off that, it's about, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Another thing that I want to say, if you want to leave a comment being really rude, I'm going to just completely disable the comment because I don't really need to hear people being rude about their opinions. I'm going to be completely rational about my opinions, so I expect the same. So let's go ahead and hop right into the first one. Now, the first one that I want to be talking about is Mew. Now, this is going to be something that I know for a fact is going to be the most controversial Pokemon that I could have ever started with, and I'm okay with that. The main reason I'm okay with that is because I have a very strange opinion, and I think it has started to be backed up over the seasons of watching League format in the GBA, the PPL, the NPCC. There's been a bunch of leagues that I've watched, the PGL, where Mew has had a very weird time. And what I mean by that is it's drafted, and people talk like they have the best mon in the format. I hate to say this, but in my opinion, you have a subpar fantastic mon, if that makes sense. It's not a Pokemon that you look at and you're like, holy shit, I have the best mon in the format, it's going to sweep every single week. It's not that type of Pokemon. It is just a decent filler. Mew is the type of Pokemon when you draft it, you have to draft around Mew. You can't just say, I want Mew. You have to think of your entire draft around Mew. Reason being is because when you draft it, a lot of people say, well, I have a Defogger and I have a Stealth Rocker. And instantly you have to kind of think, no, I don't. I need a Stealth Rocker and a Defogger. I need something that can get Volt Turn Initiative. I need something that can be a Setup Sweeper. I need multiple forms of hazard removal. The reason for this is because if you draft Mew and you have the mindset of, I have hazard removal, then Mew is going to be stuck into that role every single week. It's going to be stuck into the bulky role with Stealth Rocks, Will-O-Wisp, like Scald, Volt Switch, Defog, Roost, and it's going to be a very supportive Mew. And that's the problem with it. At the same time, you can't draft Mew thinking that it can do anything, because while technically, yes, it can do anything, it can't. Because why would you want something that can be a Calm Mind Sweeper when you have, say, I'm just going to use something, the typing sucks for this example, but say you have a Reuniqueless. You have another fantastic Calm Mind Sweeper, why do you want another one? You have, with Mew, the roles you do not have, which for a lot of teams, where the team lacks is in hazard removal. A lot of teams lack a Defogger and Stealth Rockers, so that's where Mew just happens to fall, and that's why it becomes subpar. Another thing to note about Mew is that it, compared to the other Pixies, like the base 100 Pixies, aside from maybe Celebi, it's very, very, very subpar. Reason being, yes, it can learn any move in the game, that's like TM or Move Tutor, aside from Draco Meteor. Shout out to Jirachi for getting Draco Meteor. There is a certain lack of power that comes with Mew, because it is only base 100 attack. Whenever you think about this, it has the special attack stat of Emboar. It has the attack stat of Flygon. It's not that powerful. The only reason why things like Manaphy, Victini, Shaman are so good is because V-Create, Tail Glow, and Seed Flare with the Spadef drops. I'm not going to say that's the only reason they're so good, but that's a very large reason as to why they're better than Mew. They hit harder, they have more utility while they're attacking because they can hit so much harder and they have better setup options with the 3 respectively. Another thing to note about Mew is that while it can be very subpar on teams, if you draft around it properly, it can be one of the best Pokemon in the format. The problem is not many people... I apologize. As I was saying before I got rudely interrupted, the main thing that would make Mew a fantastic Pokemon is if people drafted around Mew. When I drafted in the PPL, I did not. I'm willing to admit, I did not draft around Mew. I did not do a good job drafting the way it should have been drafted. I got basically a Pokemon that did the exact same things, only better in Jirachi, because it had the added effects of Serene Grace. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it has more power behind it with added effects than Mew. Whenever you're looking at a draft that works with Mew, you have to look at the fact that you need a very good fighting check, because now you're not going to have a super bulky psychic type like you would if you got Reuniclus, you got Cresselia, if you got anything like that to kind of sort of aid with fighting spam. And a lot of fighting spam comes with knockoff because that's just a very common work together. So you need a fantastic fairy to go with it. So you need something like Sylveon, you need something like Clefable, something very good at taking fighting hits, or a very good ghost type, a very good bulky ghost type. But then again, you're still adding up the knockoff weaknesses. So instantly trying to work around not being able to get a very bulky psychic type, because while yes, it can be very bulky, it's not like it's the ideal bulky psychic type in Cresselia, at least in my opinion. You also need a very good defogger, so that means you would need like Skarmory, a Lottie-twin, but then you're doubling up on psychic types, which sucks. You would need Mandibuzz, which helps with your knockoff switch in. There's certain things that people need to look into when thinking about drafting Mew, that you can't just say, I want Mew. It's just not how it works in my opinion. One more thing to go over is that Mew, it's only psychic type. So that means it doesn't get stabbed with anything aside from psychic, and that's another thing that makes it lack. Victini gets stab V-Create, Jirachi gets stab Iron Head and Flash Cannon and things like that. Mew does not get wish support that Jirachi gets. It does not have the added effects that these base 100 Pixies have that make it good. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give Mew a B ranking. Reason being, it's just not as good, in my opinion, as Victini, Jirachi, and other psychic types that you could get if you want a Mon that fills multiple roles. One final thing to note about Mew is that I think it is a first round draft pick overall. I think that if you don't pick it up round 1, somebody else will pick it up, and it's just the fact that you have to know in advance the way you want to build around it, just because Mew is a type of Pokemon that you have to build around. It's not like Sylveon or Clefable where you can say, hey, I need a fairy type, Florges is taken, but Sylveon isn't for some reason, let me just take Sylveon. It's not that type of Pokemon. But with all that being said, that's basically going to be the first video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please make sure to leave a like down below. Also, make sure to leave a comment as to what Pokemon you'd like to see me cover next week. I'm probably going to be doing this once a week just to see how it's received. And I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.